interwebs, how are you doing? I am doing well. I'm finally back from England. Well, I've been back for a little while, but I just want to make a video like telling you about, I guess this is like a TLDR version of my experience. It was awesome. It was so cool. I love it. I love it there. We visited Cambridge and it was probably the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my entire life. I loved all of the old architecture. I even loved like the vibe of being there. Like everybody was really cool. Like everybody just seemed really chill and down to earth, and we went to everywhere. We went to King's College. We got to like see the chapel. We went to the Fitzwilliam Museum. It was an awesome time. I definitely want to go back, and I am terrible. I told you guys I was going to make videos and stuff, and you know me. I didn't do that. I didn't follow up on any of my promises because I'm just bad at being a good YouTuber. But I did, between me and Nick, we took a lot of pictures. So I made an Imgur album to share with you guys rather than making it in a video so that you wouldn't have to like watch the whole thing. That's like a lot. I made a really big Imgur album, and I'll have that linked in the info below so you can check that out if you are interested. There's some really beautiful pictures in there, and there's some really not cute selfies and stuff, but that's okay. That's okay. You can kind of get an idea of what our trip was like. The flight was actually not bad. I was worried that we weren't going to be able to sit together because I just realized I wasn't wearing my bracelets. That's so strange. I was worried we wouldn't be able to sit together because our seats were not booked together. On the way there, we got really lucky, and there were two open seats next to each other, so we sat in those, and it kind of sucked because they were way in the back of the plane, like right near the bathroom. And it was a long flight. It was an overnight. It was like a red eye. We left at like 7 p.m. and then we got into England at 10 a.m. and then it took us about 2 hours to get through like the border, customs, stuff like that. And then it was another 2 hours from the airport to Cambridge because it was, by the time everything was going, it was kind of a high traffic time of day. So it took quite a while to get there, even though the way back it wasn't that long. But anyways, so we didn't actually get into Cambridge until about 12:30. We went out to lunch. We went to a pub and we got fish and chips, and it was so good. Everything, the food was phenomenal, and the service was phenomenal too. Like, I think it's because they don't rely on tips the way they do in the US. Like, nobody is like stressed out in that way, like, oh god, I have to take so many tables, or I have to suck up, I have to do all these things. Like, it wasn't like that at all. It was very chill, and the food was excellent. Nick got a duck sandwich, something to do with duck. I don't remember. I don't really like duck, so I didn't eat it. I ate my whole fish and chips though. Cod is amazing. I don't know why we use haddock in America. Cod is way better. So I had fish and chips, then we went back to the room, and I think that was the night we ordered in, and they told us our address didn't exist, which was really bizarre because it definitely did. And so after like 2 hours of waiting for food, we ended up going out to eat at it was called St. John's Chop House. I don't know if any of you guys are from that area, but St. John's Chop House is fantastic. It was very expensive, but it was so good. I got like this stuffed chicken that had cheese and peppercorn sauce and some sort of like sweet potato delicious thing. And I ended up getting a dessert there as well. I got like a fruit tart, and it was so good. And Nick got like a lamb, I like want to call it a lamb chop, but it was more like a steak. I mean, the thing was like this big. It was so good. And the next morning we went out for breakfast, and I'm just going to tell you about all the food basically because that's all I care about. But the next morning we went out for breakfast, and I got eggs Florentine and Nick got eggs Royale, and I had mimosa. And I love the coffee there. Like, they take their coffee so seriously. So we had coffee, and it was really good. And then I think I got fish and chips for lunch again. And I actually at a pub I got mac and cheese, which is apparently not a normal thing that you would eat in England, but it was so good. I don't even know. I think there was brie in it. I think there was brie cheese in it. It was so good. It was the best macaroni and cheese I'd ever had in my life. Nick said the cheese to noodle ratio was on the cheesy side. I say he needs to shut up because it was fantastic. And then I had fish and chips again. Oh yeah, I already said that. I had fish and chips. And then where did we go for dinner that night? Gee, I don't remember. Oh, you know where we went? We went to this restaurant called Cow. It was like a steakhouse in Cambridge, and it was really good. And then it was such an awesome trip. I just want to tell you about all the things I ate. Is that weird? We went on a punt. It's like the river that runs through Cambridge. And you, like, there's a guy who, like, pushes the boat, and he, like, tells you about all the buildings, and that was fantastic. That's where a lot of the pictures that you're going to see in the Imager album were taken, and that was a really cool experience because he's talking about buildings and things that happened, like, 1,000 years ago. I can't even imagine. That's so cool and old, and I love it. I love historical stuff. Like, Nick and I are moving in a few months, and I specifically want a house that was built in, like, the turn of the century. Like, I want a house that was built between, like, 1880 and 1920. I don't want a new house. I want an old house. I like old architecture. And, like, in New York, that's about the oldest you're going to get because we get pretty extreme weather and things aren't built out of rock and brick and stone the way they are in England, but I just love the architecture there. We had a lot of fun at the museum, even though there were some pretty disturbing stuff. Like, I loved all of the, like 1700s era portraits. I loved so much. I loved the Egyptian display. I loved the ancient Greek and ancient Rome displays. I loved all of the porcelain and stuff that was in there, but there was this one display that was so scary. I did not like it at all. It was called something Fatal Consequences. It was terrible. It was like an etching. I did not like it at all. It was very, like, grotesque, and it felt like more shock value than art, but I'm not an art major. I don't know much. I studied chemistry in college, so my opinion in those regards doesn't really matter. But I loved the museum. It was so pretty, and there were these big lions outside, and I had fish and chips that day too. I pretty much ate fish and chips anytime I could because I like that kind of food. And then on the airplane ride home, we were there for 5 days, and on the airplane ride home, we actually caved and we upgraded our seats to, like, economy plus, which was fantastic because we ended up getting a whole row to ourselves. And if you've ever flown, that extra seat, I just burped a little bit and kept talking. That's so ladylike of me. But that extra seat is what's up, man. Like, it was the most comfortable flight. It was like almost 8 hours coming home, but the in-flight entertainment was really good. The food was subpar, but it's airplane food, so what are you gonna do? But it was really comfortable. I didn't sleep at all. I never sleep on planes. Do you guys sleep on planes? I can't sleep on planes at all, and now I'm home, and my dogs are fine. I always worry about my dogs when I go, but they're all fine. My cats are fine, and now I'm home. And the expansion comes out soon, and I'm getting married soon, and all these things are happening, and I spent all night last night working on my centerpieces for my wedding, and they're very close to being done, so yeah, doing good, keep it on track. So I will be I know I always tell you I'm gonna be vlogging more, but really I will be vlogging more in the future. I would like to shoot for at least a weekly vlog. I don't want to promise daily vlogs because the truth is I don't even get out of my pajamas every day. There are a lot of days that I just spend, like, editing in my PJs, and I'm not going to film videos when I'm in that kind of state, but I would like to start doing vlogs at least once a week on top of the other type of videos that end up on Random Panzer, like unboxings and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all the things. I hope that you guys enjoyed this vlog. Do you like my don't I look so fancy? I look like I'm sending the representative. This is that shirt that I got from Pop Basic. I'm not sure if that video is going to go up before this or after this, but you'll know what I'm talking about soon. I freaking love this shirt. I'm kind of obsessed with it. If I haven't made that video yet, I'll link it so that you know what the heck I'm talking about. It's like this website, and they do, like, micro collections. So you get, like, in my case, I got a belt, a scarf, and a shirt that all are coordinating. But I'm, like, super obsessed with the shirt because it's, like, a long sleeve t-shirt, but it's, like, the softest t-shirt ever. And it's, like, super long in the back. So you can wear leggings and you wouldn't look inappropriate. I'm gonna go. I hope you're having a great day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.